it kind of brings it into perspective of when you were kids in the summer.
Yeah.
And like the beginning of the summer was always so much fun. We got all these trips planned. We're doing this. By beginning of August, your parents are so checked out. They're like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
And you're mad. You're like, school starts soon. They're like, school starts soon.
They're stoked. They're like, oh my God. And they see a freaking JCPenney commercial come on TV that just like, back to school is here. They're like, fuck yes. Yes. Let's go.
The best money I ever spent was buying you new
back
shoes.
to school shopping, baby. Let's go. Mom gets therapy, retail therapy, and gets to send her kids back to school. That's a great day in a mom's
And
life.
you get to
I'm
look
guessing.
at dope-ass fucking folders, dude.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Trapper keepers,
Yeah,
dude.
dude.
Oh, dude, this one's got a yin-yang on it, dude.
It's got a Corvette, dude.
Oh, dude.
Well, hello and welcome to the Confused Breakfast. Do you remember the pure joy of a trip to the video rental store as a kid?
Yeah.
It's hard to beat the ease of the modern era and streaming platforms where you don't even have to leave your house. But there was something truly special about having your 7-foot-tall butler drive you to Blockbuster to rent some movies. On this podcast, we revisit and dissect some of our favorite childhood movies from that magical era to see if they still move us the way they did as kids. My name is Mike Schulte. Joining me, as always, two dudes who need good friends, good fun, and a little time in the Harmony Hut. Sean
Yeah.
Pryor and AJ Benz, how the heck are you?
What would be in your Harmony Hut?
My Harmony Hut?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I
I don't think you should have a Harmony Hut for adults. You know what I mean? I feel like it's like that like closet in like high school or something, the 7 minutes or something.
I think logging into social media after a major event in the world happens is a Harmony Hut.
That's a Harmony
yeah.
Hut
Yeah.
for you?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. Everyone's in Harmony.
Because actually Harmony Hut's not good, right?
Well, true. But like a true good one for me would
Oh, okay.
just be like a record player and some records.
And some dogs.
And like literally nothing else.
Have you, well, we've seen it before. You know, no, I think I know what all of our Harmony Hut is. It's basically old time hockey's
Yep.
cabin.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
There it is. With him there.
With them there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if it was just us, I'd be like, I'm leaving.
Nailed it.
Every time he opens up a conversation, he says, "Hey, buddy." Every single time.
I've been saying to my daughter, I've been going, holy wow. She'll go, holy wow.
Holy wow.
Holy wow.
Well, boys, on today's episode, we discuss one of the rare movies where parents and kids can each enjoy it for different reasons. This movie was nominated for an Oscar and is the sequel to a successful release in 1991, chosen directly by our beautiful Patreon members. We're, of course, talking about 1993's Addams Family Values.
Yeah.
Well, dang it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another nostalgic journey to the past with the Confused Breakfast. Sit back, relax, and enjoy wherever you are in the world. Take it away, boys.
Again, we're just skipping right over the first one. Doesn't even exist to
so
us.
this is the second time we've done this, right? Third. Okay,
Third time.
Aliens, Terminator 2, Addams Family Values. Now listen,
Yeah.
Zach Cahill was very upset and offended by this, and I get it. I know what you're thinking. Illegal. But here's what happened. We put up a vote to our Patreon members at patreon.com/confusedbreakfast. It was my choice to come up with 5 movies. I was like, let's do summer camp movies, right? So you're thinking of the obvious ones. Ernest Goes to Camp, Camp Nowhere, American Pie 2, Meatballs, and of course, Addams Family Values.
Oh, yeah.
This one snuck it out by 3 votes. It had 32% of the votes. It beat Ernest Goes to Camp by 3 votes, my friends. So that, if you don't like it, you got to join the Patreon. Patreon.com/confusedbreakfast.
man.
Get your vote.
Every vote counts
It
in an
does.
election like this.
It
so
really does.
Yeah, shut up.
Democracy is on the line.
God dang it. Well, if you're new to the
For
Confused
videos,
Breakfast
for movies.
podcast, we're going to be reviewing Addams Family Values scene by scene with a modern eye, but we got to talk about it with pure nostalgia. Let's start with Sean on this one. Tell us the first time you saw it, what you thought about it, what your nostalgic rating was.
This was a Uncle's Basement movie. The archive that was really kind of shaped my like 90s viewing, early 2000s viewing. That's where I first saw the Blair Witch Project and pissed my pants.
Right.
But yeah, this was down there on the stack of VHS, and I Can't even tell you if I've even seen the first one, but I've definitely seen this one 1,000 times and liked it a lot. I definitely, like, every time I think about it before this viewing, I thought about the camp, camp. Chippewa camp. I liked it a lot. I thought it was a cool movie that I watched, and I'm going to give that a 6.5.
6.5. Interestingly enough, for me, I was a fan of the first one. First one was the one that we had it on VHS, and we just played it. Loved the first one. Second one, I never owned it, so it was just not as familiar to me, and I just always remember liking the first one better. So this is more of like a 5.5 for me, and I definitely have not seen this movie in a very long time. Mm-hmm. It was like a couple times in the 90s, and then I never searched it out after that.
It's always on, ABC Family.
Yeah?
On around Halloween time.
Okay. Or Thanksgiving time. Maybe it's kind of one of the...
Summertime even. It's a cross-platform movie.
We now return to Addams Family Values on a very spooky ABC Family. Ooh! That's it.
Took us right back.
There it is. Transporting you guys. This, I'm the opposite of Mike. This was like my Addams Family for what I watched of the Addams Family. Otherwise, it was much too spooky. I didn't want to watch it, but I would watch it because like my family kind of wanted to watch it, or like whoever was like, it was Halloween time usually for me as well. I'm not going to like pick this up, but this is definitely the one that I remember. I don't remember a ton about the first one. And that's probably because I'm just getting them intertwined.
Yeah, potentially.
You know what I mean? But this was the one I really remember because I remember the summer camp aspect of it, and I remember Joan Cusack as well, who's hilarious in this. So that being said, I thought it was funny. A lot of these jokes, realizing now, went way over my head for a movie that I probably didn't understand and didn't want to watch. That was because it's way too spooky. I'm gonna go with a strong 4.6.
Oh,
nice.
That's very strong. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, nostalgically, guys, everybody's like, I really love this movie. 4.6.
Yeah.
We pretty much all said that. It's a 5.53 nostalgically for us. That's pretty low. That is all by itself in the 133rd position of any movie we've done, below Super Mario Brothers.
Whoa.
Just want to throw that out there, guys. I feel like everybody's nostalgic ratings were a little skewed today, but that's okay.
All right.
It doesn't even really matter.
Nope, because we've said it before. I think we're just going to get rid of this whole segment.
Yeah.
I think we've said that plenty of times.
We could just say like the first time we watched it and be like, that's it.
Okay, so from now on, we're just going to say like, hey, man, this is what I remember about this movie.
Let us know if these numbers matter to you. Okay?
Do these numbers matter to you at all? Because I never care about them.
Dial 1-888-28 right down the middle. Call collect. All right.
319-804-9596.
Oh, wow.
There it is, 9596.
Well, next up, we got to strip away all the nostalgia now. So we got to go to Sean. We got to learn all the pertinent, important details of the movie. What do you got for us in this one?
Produced by Scott Rudin, written by Paul Rudnick, based off characters created by Charles Addams. Cinematography by Donald Peterman. He also did Splash, Flashdance, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Splash Dance?
Yes. Did I say that?
No.
Flash
okay.
Dance. Sorry,
Point Break and Men in Black.
Wow.
All 3 movies that we've covered on the show. Go check them out, you sons of bitches.
Yeah.
Music by Marcus Shaman. He also did Misery, A Few Good Men, and a lot of South Park episodes, including the movie. Directed by Barry Sonnenfeld, obviously. We had him before with Men in Black. Cast: Angelica Houston, Raul Julia, Christopher Lloyd, Joan Cusack, Christina Ricci, Jimmy Workman, Carol Kane, Carol Stuchian, or Karel Stuchian.
Yep.
Remember him?
Yep.
David Krumholtz, Christopher Hart, Dana Ivey, Peter McNichol, Christine Baranski, Sam McMurray's back, David Hyde Pierce, Peter Graves, Chris Ellis, Tony Shalhoub, and Nathan Lane.
Wow.
After the success of the first film, Paramount was indeed in need of a second because of the surprise box office success. However, the original writer was not interested in doing a second film. Producer Scott Rudin was working on a film called Sister Act with writer Paul Rudnick, and it was turning into quite a production nightmare, so much so that writer Rudnick wanted to take his name off the film. He is credited as a different name on that movie. It's not Alan Smithy. That's usually what they do as far as like trying to take your name off the movie, but people got wise to that. Feeling that Rudin owed Rudnick, he asked him to work on Addams Family Values right as it began production, doing touch-ups and contributing so much that he got main credit for the writing. The set was very jovial, as director Barry Sonnenfeld was a joy to work with all around when he would play pranks on the cast and just have a great energy behind the camera. Joan Cusack was much of the same, and her overall jovialness, and she just embraced her character and gave it her all, and kind of made all of the other cast members want to work harder for her. Addams Family Values was released on November 19th, 1993, and on a budget of $47 million, the film made $111 million at the box office and would go on to garner one more sequel in Addams Family Reunion.
I don't remember that at all.
It's got
It's like 2000s.
It's got our
But
our
it wouldn't
boy.
have had, like, Raul Julia wouldn't have been in there.
No, it's
No.
like completely different cast. In
No,
fact,
I think that was Kerrie.
yeah,
Then we're
Gomez
gonna-
is played by Tim Curry.
Then, but Angelica Houston was
No.
in there? Then we are going to strict that from the record.
Okay.
It does
Okay.
not count.
It's got like a 3.8.
Yeah,
on
it doesn't
IMDb.
count.
So
we're
we're
not
not-
going to honor that.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Had a few animated films as well as the highly successful Netflix show Wednesday. That's all I got. There's
And
not
video
much on
games,
this.
incredible NES and NES, SNES video
Really?
games.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Were they good?
One of my faves for regular Nintendo.
And they
was
were all
Addams Family.
after the movies.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine.
Well,
That's
thanks,
it.
Sean. Up next, we got to go to AJ, who does the research for us with ratings, reviews from critics, fans alike. What do you got on this one?
I think it's nice, guys. We're all at that very special age when girls and boys, they just have one thing on their mind.
Yeah.
The tomato meter!
Gross.
75% certified fresh tomato meter.
That's all alone in the 85th spot of any movie we've done. Critics think this movie is better than Big Trouble in Little China, but not as good as Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Well,
That's wrong.
That's the critics, bro.
That's wrong.
critics are wrong, as we've learned.
You know what? We're going to stop giving the critic rating, too, because it doesn't matter.
Not many movies are better than Big Trouble in Little China. I just have to get that.
we just want to keep. I think all we find is that we just want to keep saying people are wrong,
Yeah.
and we're here to set the record straight.
Correct.
You almost slipped into it. I could see it.
Even I didn't even need.
We have a big sign up in our studio right now that says, do not do an impression of this person.
There it is up there. Oh, 63% was the audience score, and this is a 6.8 on IMDb.
So that's the 11th movie we've done as a 6.8 on IMDb. That's getting pretty high. That is tied with Wedding Singer, Fast and the Furious, Bloodsport, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Hook, Role Models, and more.
All great fucking movies.
I mean, so do we need to lower that 7.0 bar? Like,
Yeah, maybe.
6.8 is a pretty good bar right there.
No, I think it is. So let's get it to 6.9.
yeah, rock
dude.
and roll, dude. Fucking pussy and shit. Fucking
yeah.
missionary, dude.
Oh, they had sex.
Yeah, dude.
75 out of 100. Robert.
Come on,
Robert Eger. There.
send it to me.
Roger Ebert. Sorry, guys. Chicago Sun-Times. What is most beguiling about Addams Family Values is the way the relationship between Gomez and Morticia is ripened. The family falls in line as well.
Nice.
Oh, let's see if there's anything that's worth our time here, because, like I say, the critics are always wrong. Another Chicagonite. Is it Chicagonites?
Yeah.
We'll see him in a couple of days.
Yeah, Michael Wilmington's going to be at our show in Chicago, actually.
Tonight.
Tonight,
Yes.
yeah.
We'll see you there, Mike. Addams Family Values is another big opportunistic pre-marketed studio show, but it has laughs and flair. At its best, it's a Valentine of venom sent with mirth and malice aforethought.
Whoa. Big words.
Big words.
Big words.
Big
there.
words. Jay Boyer, Orlando Sentinel, gave it a 40 out of 100. Somehow, the new production fails to sustain the creepy, kooky, mysterious, spooky, and altogether ooky visual sweep that held the first film together.
Beautiful job.
I'm having a hard time reading today, guys.
No, you're good.
So, how about here we go. How about an 8 out of 10 a frighteningly better sequel. This is in 2024, January 25th, 2024. Bruno Vanale had this to say. One of those rare occasions where the sequel is better than the original, darker and funnier. The cast is obviously once again having a blast as they did in the first movie. The first was very kind and careful in comparison to this, but the path chosen was enthusiastically embraced at the time. So less need for prudence and compliance, which leads to a more interesting script, sharper dialogues, harsher jokes, more shocking punchlines, and a lot less Disney. But somehow they still sustained a family movie vibe with an enjoyable sauce of edginess. The special effects, unfortunately, look a bit outdated.
Yeah.
I actually liked that review.
Yeah. What was that from?
Just from IMDb.
I mean,
just a user from IMDb.
The year? Does it have it on?
2024.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah, like I said, I just kind of like that one. There was one written out review here, guys, that was a 1 out of 10. Has warning spoilers. PKZ Weez. Yeah, in 2010 had this to say. Even worse than the first, and it was horrible. It's a little bit longer one. It's my last one for you. A gold digger comes after Fester, and she pretends to be a nanny while she seduces Fester. There's a new baby in the house named Pubert, so the nanny suggests that the other kids get sent to summer camp. Stop reading the movie to us.
I hate these reviews where they're like, here's what happened in the movie.
And then
I'll paraphrase.
Warning, spoilers. Here's everything that happens.
It's bad.
Here's a synopsis.
I hated
Doesn't
it.
that suck? Do you want to watch it now? No, because you ruined it.
Yeah, with your poor grammar.
Don't worry, I'll paraphrase here. She tries to kill him and get the inheritance, and the kids have to suffer the annoying camp counselors and other children, and Granny and Morticia and Gomez have to deal with the curse on their newborn. It's one big long sentence. Yeah, my description sucks.
Yep.
But I hate trying to explain how bad movies are. Then stop.
Just don't.
This is something that no one asked you to do. No one asked you to do this.
On your own free will. I hate having to do this.
Yeah, but I know people are paying attention.
Here I am again.
But
It's like social media when somebody's like, people really are going to want to hear my opinion on this modern day thing that's happening. It's like, actually, nobody's reading that, bro.
yeah. Is this what somebody would do, like to kind of like get themselves like, I want to be the next Roger Ebert, so I'll go
Yes,
on IMDb
correct.
and write reviews. Okay, got it. That's why these exist. The movie was the same boring type of plot as the first one. It offered nothing new, and although it had a few laughs, it was still worse than the original. Sonnenfeld's direction was even lazier, and the music was worse. They tried the TV theme song and kept playing it in different musical styles. Yes.
Fun.
So
It's just fun.
yeah, it's a good time. They also basically adding "whoop there it is" and adding lyrics about the Addams family. How boring is that?
I mean, yeah.
You're correct.
Rap songs are always flavors of the week and will never be popular as little as the year in the future.
Okay.
Too bad they dropped out with the Michael Jackson song.
We'll get to it.
Well,
We'll get to it.
okay, all right. Let's see. What else can we pull from this one? He does give some praise for like Joan Cusack, Christopher Lloyd, just probably because he likes Back to the Future. I was always most fond of Lurch, but neither of these movies focused on him at all. The Counselors did a great job too. Very funny. Also, some great cameos by people like Peter Graves and Nathan Lane. Perhaps kids might like it, but movies like this are just a waste of time to me.
I just told you a bunch of things I really like, but it's a waste of time.
Much like reading this review to
Yep.
all of you, and I apologize.
I think we'll just get rid of this segment too.
So we might as well just get rid of my segment. I don't know why we do this.
Sometime the show's just going to be 15 minutes long.
Can you imagine if we're like, hey, welcome to the Confused Breakfast. I watched it. It was really good. I gave it a 9.5.
yeah, man,
Sean?
I think I liked it too.
All right,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Hey, I did. Okay.
Nope, that's all the time we got.
We don't have time for AJ.
There's just one shot of him going like,
Yeah, I mean,
cut to credits.
17 ad reads before that.
it lacks comedy and can't handle the test of time. This is a 1 out of 10 stars. So there it is. I should check in on the Discord.
I got
right?
you if you want to
got
talk.
me?
Yeah, you want to
I
talk
appreciate
Little
that.
Lebowski Urban Achievers.
Please and thank you.
You can join the discussion, have your name and your review on the show at patreon.com/confusedbreakfast. Our boy Jarrett Layoff starts off. He says, I'll start with the nostalgic rating, solid 9. The goofy musical numbers, the fast delivery of lines, explosions, the best love story ever written, made this a constant throughout my whole life. Just like Aliens, T2, Ghostbusters 2, I'm sure a few others, this was watched more than the original. The rock star performances from the entire cast bring the brilliant writing to a whole new level. You've got so many great people in there. He does want to point out that I do not like either Cusack, but Joan as Debbie rocks my world. Quotes are endless. Isn't he a lady killer? Acquitted. I'll play the victim for your whole life. And all that I can forgive but Debbie, or all that I can forgive but Debbie, what? Pastels? He's saying modern day rating 8.7, and we will see Jarrett tonight in Chicago at our live show. So
can't wait.
Join up at patreon.com/confusedbreakfast. Tell us what you think about our future movies.
Yeah, man.
Please.
And woman.
All right, boys. Friends of the Confused Breakfast, I regret to inform you that we cannot break bread with you. You've taken the land which is rightfully ours. Years from now, my people will be forced to live in mobile homes on reservations. Your people will wear cardigans and drink highballs. We will sell our bracelets by the roadsides. You will play golf and enjoy hot hors d'oeuvres. My people will have pain and degradation. Your people will have stick shifts. The gods of my tribe have spoken. They said, do not trust the pilgrims, especially Sarah Miller. And for all these reasons, I've decided to scalp you and burn your village to the ground. But first, a scene-by-scene breakdown of Addams Family Values. Here we go.
Sick.
So scene 1, Gomez and Morticia Addams welcome baby Pubert into the world. Older siblings Wednesday and Pugsley openly loathe their new brother and repeatedly attempt to eliminate him. I didn't want to say unalive him, you know what I mean? With the house in shambles, Morticia and Gomez opt to hire a nanny. After interviewing many, they settle on Debbie. She seems sweet, but she's actually a serial killer who's there to seduce Fester. Fester obviously falls immediately in love.
I love the opening shot of this. Just Fester howling at the moon.
It actually scared the fuck out of me because I had it like on my phone for some reason, and I thought it was coming from outside my house in the dark.
Yeah.
It's like, what is that noise? Even my cat was doing that.
Yeah, I started watching it in the morning, and my dogs were still upstairs with my wife, and I heard that scene, and they came down, they're like, what's going on down here?
What is
Was that you?
You good?
Guys?
We all right?
All right, we're gonna go back to bed. Is that
Okay,
cool?
see you later.
This is one I had Harrison say. I was like, maybe he'll be fine with it. He was like, he's just having a tough time going to sleep and whatnot. And I'm like, well, you can stay up with me and we'll watch a little bit of this movie. And I was like, I don't know about this now. Yeah, I think like there were points where I actually did the parental like kind of cover his eyes so he kind of didn't see some little pieces and parts. Like one of those is like the whatever that teddy bear mongrel thing is they put in front of. That thing is terrifyingly like it is gross. But I just thought one of my favorite things is it just kind of opens up and Morticia just says, Gomez, I'm having a baby right now. Just like that made me laugh like right away. And I feel like it sets a very good tone for the comedy of the movie.
And a pace too, where you're just like, this is the plot of the movie. It's the Addams Family, but they're adding another.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And then it's just like right into the hospital. And I love the choice of lighting her like that separately the entire time. And she plays it so goddamn well. And she knows that when she's on camera, she knows she has that light. And she does so much acting with her eyes. It's fucking incredible.
And she's so stoic. She never moves.
Yeah.
She's always just so prim and proper. Even that scene when she's giving birth, they stood her up against a wall.
Because they want her hair to like, go lay flat. Yeah.
And that's something you would never think of, even watching it, to be like, oh, wow, look how perfect she still looks. But it makes so much sense because if she was actually laying down, it wouldn't look like her.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to look like she's doing the hardest thing a woman ever does and just being like, yeah.
Tell me about it. Are you in pain? Is it the most miserable thing ever?
Yes, exactly.
He's so excited about it.
Please tell me more.
It's like, yes, it's awful. It's like, do you want an epidural? It's like, no. It's like, oh God.
Awesome.
She's just champing it out. That's it.
And that scene, like, it's just so funny to me, like, because this movie is totally. I said it in the intro. Like, you can get so much out of it as a kid, but there's so much deeper underlying like adult themes and conversations going on. But as a kid, like watching Thing fly through the air and slap the baby's butt, like that is the stuff that the kids love. And I know you read it, David Hyde Pierce. Do you know where he is in this movie?
Is he the doctor giving birth?
He's the doctor giving birth. You see him for like 2 seconds in this movie, just going scalpel or whatever. It's like great cameo by David Hyde Pierce.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird cameos in here.
There is.
It's really cool.
We'll get to it, I guess. But Tony Shalhoub was one that I
completely
didn't
forgot.
even realize. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I mean, yeah, I really love how this movie is just like, yep, here we go, and like he comes in. What is it? Is it a boy or girl? It's an Addams.
Yeah,
it's so good.
And we were obviously doing that as well.
Of course.
Is that like the best part of like the Addams Family? Is the theme song?
It's truthfully probably made itself into pop culture more than anything in this movie. Like they play this at sporting events on organs. Everyone knows this theme. And I think it's from the original series, right? It's the same.
I think so.
Yeah. So like the one thing I don't like though, I just want to throw it out there. I know you kind of mentioned maybe you do like it, is the fact that they keep adding the motif throughout the movie. I don't really like that. Like, I play the original song at the beginning and then leave it be. Like, don't have Lurch playing it on the organ. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that just rubbed me a little.
It works for me the best later on when I think it's after the whole like camp takeover with Wednesday. After that, she's like approaching Samantha. What's that her name?
Yeah. Samantha Buckman.
Samantha Buckman.
She's approaching her and like she gives her like speech or whatever to her, and then the theme comes back in, and like that really works. But
it's like the original theme, though, right? Yeah. So that works for me.
Okay, so you're saying like
the score was kind of adding it
ones.
in from time to time, and that's what I don't know. I just like come up with something different.
What do you think of the score overall?
Pretty decent, I think. Right?
I have no problems with it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It's not bad. It's not bad to stand out, but it's not good to stand out. It just kind of...
Yeah, it certainly wasn't something that I like dwelled on enough to think one way or the other. So,
I was like, I'm certain Danny Elfman did this.
Yeah.
And I don't think he did.
No, he didn't. But I think it's really good. I think it adds that like creepiness of the Addams Family kind of theme with like the family aspect of like completely bombastic shit going on,
Yeah.
Because it is technically kind of scary. Like, this freaked me out as a kid. A lot of the things that happened in these movies. And I think that they do a really good job of making it scary, but making it funny, but making it for adults, for kids. Like it's a truly a well-rounded movie. Mm-hmm. And a well-rounded concept, really.
Yeah.
It's the dialogue that always brings me back out of the spookiness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
it's
yeah.
very, very funny. It's very, very quick.
It's really smart.
It's very sharp. Like, it really does kind of, like, it just kind of cuts through the moment, I guess, is the best way I can really say it.
But it's also so quick to where if you're not really paying attention, it's kind of over.
That's the part that's certainly over a kid's head.
Oh yeah.
Like if you are 13 or younger, then it's gone.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't matter at all. You're waiting for the sounds like bites and whoop, 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 like that kind of shit. But like and somebody falling. Right? Or baby Pubert doing something.
A bowling ball falling on Lurch's head. Oh, cool.
Oh, that was funny.
He growled and then he kept doing the flowers.
Yeah. It didn't even hurt him. Neat.
The baby has a mustache.
Did you see the baby has a mustache? They don't have that normally.
That's crazy, man.
That's crazy, dude.
But like, imagine being the writer of this too, where it's just like these, like a birth, like welcoming in a new baby to the family, How can we subvert that and make it dark? Oh, well, their like hanging thing is just knives, or like we say that he got hung over at the wedding.
That's basically what they're implying.
It's so good. It's
so
like
funny.
But as a kid, it's not something you're thinking about. You're just like, oh, they're weird.
No, it's just like I just having so much fun writing this. I bet it was just so much fun writing this movie.
It takes a kid's literal brain. It's almost like playing fun jokes with a kid's literal brain,
Mm-hmm.
because that's all you can think of. Really, there's no sarcasm usually in your brain until you get to like I don't know, until you get to like teenage years almost, right? And to be able to just be like, yeah, I'm going to make this like hangover cocktail for you, or I'm gonna like
He's got shades on.
we're gonna put just a mustache on a baby.
Yeah.
And it's you just have fun with it because I guess that's just the way it is. That's just the Addams family.
That's
literally.
That's actually a great point that little kids don't understand sarcasm, because the other day I was walking out to like go on a bike ride.
Yeah.
And the one kid, he comes over, he's like 9. He goes, what are you doing? I was like holding my bike, like getting on my bike. I was like, I'm going to work. I'm working in Canada today, and I have to get there. And he goes, really? I'm like, no, I'm going on a bike ride.
You
like,
stupid face.
That's basically what it was.
Dumb, stupid idiot.
They
kid.
just don't understand that shit.
They just don't get it. And I just remember thinking that when I was watching this when I was younger, just thinking everything was just like, oh, okay.
Kind of like the
Knives.
stork
Sure.
story.
Yeah.
Like that I've never heard that before. So obviously the writer just made this up, right?
Oh.
When he says, and then mommy kissed daddy, and the angel told the stork, and the stork flew down from heaven and left a diamond under a leaf in a cabbage patch, and the diamond turned into a baby. It's like that's not folklore. Like he wrote that for this.
It's just like a stream of conscious. He was just writing out.
Well, did you guys the original writing of that line was actually left a pearl under a bush.
Oh.
No, it wasn't. I'm sorry.
Wow.
It's just
Wow.
Nice.
Get it, guys?
Right on, man.
Get it, guys?
dude.
Right on,
Fucking
man.
missionary and stuff.
Cool.
Shit.
That's awesome.
Fuck.
Anyway, sex, right? So
Yeah.
they had sex.
Yeah, dude. 69. Yeah.
I hate myself. We move on faster.
Okay, yeah.
Thanks.
Christopher Lloyd.
You sit
All
in
right.
it.
Unrecognizable.
You feel that way?
I really do. Like, I think that he is fantastic in this role. And every time I look at him, like, it's hard to picture the guy from Back to the Future as this character.
You know, it's funny you say that, but like I always grew up with Christopher Lloyd in my life. Like Dennis the Menace was one of my favorite movies. Addams Family, Back to the Future. Those are 3 movies that were on heavy rotation in my house. And he was completely different in all of them, but I knew it was him. So maybe it's just because I was a big fan. Like I was like, oh, duh, yeah, that's Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think he just like really lays into this. And like he was like, I think the first, besides the show, he was like the first like on-screen feature-length kind of portrayal of Fester. And so he had nothing really to go off of other than like, because he was a big fan of the of the original comic strip or whatever, or the comics. And he just kind of came up with it on his own. He almost got fired a few times, almost replaced, and that's the first one. The first one.
Oh, okay.
But just the tenacity that he was just like he wanted this role so bad, and I can't picture anybody else doing it.
You got to give it up to costume on this though too, because I never noticed it as a kid how he's wearing like shoulder pads or something, so that it looks like his head has come like down on his body.
Yeah.
It's just brilliant because it adds so much to the physicalness of Fester. Like he just looks weird and he looks gross, and you're like, but he's funny. It's Fester. Like it's such a great choice to do that wardrobe like that.
Christopher Lloyd is not like a short guy necessarily either, right? I mean, we always think he's so tall because of like maybe Back to the Future, but that's because I think Michael J. Fox is pretty short. But in the end, like them doing that to him makes him feel so much shorter and smaller.
It feels like he's kind of hunching. You know? Like, even though he's not, he's probably standing straight up.
He did kind of crouch too.
He did.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, he was like, because I think Joan Cusack was like about his height or something like that in real life, and he had to crouch every time that they were on screen together.
Nice.
But yeah, man, I don't know. Like even we talk about the writing too. Like this is just his wheelhouse, especially with like Clue and shit like that. I think he's just incredible in this movie.
I just think that he needs to. I think there should be a point whenever Christopher Lloyd is in a movie, whenever he was in a movie after Back to the Future, there should have always been a point where they could have worked in, oh my God, they found me. I don't know how, but they found me. Run for it, Marty!
Who do you think? The Libyans!
Run for it, Pugsley! Like, there's something.
Well, we do got to bring it up then. The Jarrett Layoff Confused Breakfast Actor Database. Christopher Lloyd is the leader of any movie we've done. This is his 5th role that he's been in. So he's moving up the charts followed by Sam McMurray.
Yeah, man.
This is his 4th role that
Isn't
he's
it
done.
No, he wasn't in Friday. We've had him really
the
recently.
Wizard. The
Yeah,
Wizard.
Okay.
Chris Ellis was actually the furniture delivery driver cameo.
Yep.
This is his 4th one, and Carol Kane's 3rd. So there's some people moving up the charts on this one.
What's his name from Airplane? I think it's just only his 2nd, but it's just weird to see him.
Yeah, the pilot.
Yeah, Peter Graves.
Peter Graves.
Yeah.
There is a couple fun facts. I'm sure you saw that, but I'm guessing people out there don't know that is Pubert is played by twin girls,
Right.
even though it's a boy. Like
The cutest babies on the entire
cutest, man.
earth.
Yeah. I just agree with you.
AJ's
Guys.
like, well, I want to say something about that.
Oh no! That was a great fun fact, and well, I will say this: there is one point where like the makeup on the baby is just fucking obnoxious.
Yes.
like it's not even white. It's like blue white. You know what I mean? It's like they made a bad mixture of the makeup one point, and it's against like the stark hair.
Which is clearly like some weird wig.
It's very funny, but it's just, it made me, that makes me wish I would have done something like this to Harrison
Yep,
when he was
yep.
younger.
I got a baby coming here real soon. I'm considering this will be her Halloween
Gomez.
costume.
Perfect. All right.
Just
Oh,
mini
young-
baby
mini
Gomez,
Gomez.
baby Pubert.
Baby Pubert.
There is a funny line here that I would have never picked out as a kid, but now that I am an adult that has my own children, AJ, I'm sure you laughed at this, is when Gomez is talking to Fester, he's like, I hope that someday you'll experience the joy of having children and paying someone else to raise them.
Yeah.
Like, it is a beautiful thing to literally be like, I'm going to pay money for someone else to take care of you today because I have so much to do. It is a beautiful wording of like what modern life is having kids.
Here's daycare. We call it school.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely
He is
school.
so excited to just go to school. He's so jazzed to just grab his backpack and doesn't want to let it go. And he will go to school, and he's so excited. I'm happy to do that for you. Because I don't know, bud.
I have
you gotta,
so much to
I
do.
have a lot to do.
I just talked to my brother today, and he's like, "School's starting soon. I can't fucking wait."
It kind of brings it into perspective of when you were kids in the summer.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like the beginning of the summer was always so much fun. We got all these trips planned. We're doing this. By beginning of August, your parents are so checked out. They're like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
And you're mad. You're like, school starts soon. They're like, school starts soon.
They're stoked. They're like, oh my God. And they see a freaking J.C. Penney commercial come on TV that just like, back to school is here. They're like, fuck yes. Yes. Let's go.
The best money I ever spent was buying you new
Back
shoes.
to school shopping, baby. Let's go. Mom gets therapy, retail therapy, and gets to send her kids back to school. That's a great day in a mom's
And
life.
you get
I'm
to look
guessing.
at dope ass fucking folders, dude.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Trapper keepers,
Yeah,
dude.
dude.
Oh, dude, this one's got a yin yang on it, dude.
It's got a Corvette. Dude.
oh, dude.
The little small details too when they show Fester reading Strange Men and the Women Who Avoid
I
Them.
was just gonna say.
But then that kind of like kicks in our like auditions for the nanny.
Yeah.
And Joan Cusack. What do we think?
This is okay.
Huh?
This is God, how do I get around this? Okay. This is the hottest Joan Cusack has ever been.
100%.
I've never been attracted to Joan Cusack.
Neither have I.
I'm attracted to Joan Cusack.
Those titties, dude.
Oh God. And it's not just the titties.
No,
She's unbelievable in this role.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
her ability to just kind of like turn on the charm is just out of this
Yeah.
world.
Pretty epic. Yeah. When you've got Thing on her shoulder and just going spiders against the mirror, you know, just a spider against the mirror right on her shoulder, and then she like sucks that finger, and you're just like, I don't want to be turned
Stop
on
this.
by this.
Stop this.
This isn't okay. This isn't what we should be focusing on right now.
But we are.
I'm good with my hands. Like,
and Peter Graves is literally giving us all the exposition on her.
It's great.
It is good. I'm like, thank you for the exposition, Peter Graves. No, but seriously, like,
Yeah.
that was great.
We
That was a
really
great way to do
wanted
it.
to figure like because the other way they would have done that if they didn't give us this exposition is she would have like been talking to herself.
Yeah.
Or calling someone being like, yeah, mom, I got in. And don't
Yeah.
worry about all the other guys
Or
I killed.
Her hearse driver. She talking to probably.
She's got a relationship with him for sure. Yeah. Did you catch? There are some weird things in this movie though. Like slightly questionable, but also just leads to the creepiness and the eeriness of this family. Fester is jerking off to his mom.
Oh yeah. These they both
and they're both like, yeah.
They both kind of like, Mom. Yeah.
Like we're talking centerfold nudie magazine of their mom.
Right.
And they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like we just kind of glossed right over that. Like,
yeah, my brain did too.
I think the moment
now you can't stop thinking about it.
I think the moment that if you're Gomez, like let's say this isn't the Addams family, it's just a family, and it's the moment that Gomez feels like a crinkle underneath those blankets, he's like, God
damn.
Okay, well, I'm gonna
oh, you're busy.
I'm gonna go. And that's it. Like it's no, ooh, what do we have here? Ooh, Mom. Yeah, I remember.
I kind of wish he would have been like,
the pages are sticky.
It's like it was a hand-me-down that Gomez passed to him or something.
Yeah.
It's just, dude,
you watch that as a kid, you're like, what?
Yeah.
I'm giving you Mom issue number 37.
Oh.
That centerfold.
She's got a whole rack of these that she's been in. Got it.
Okay.
All right.
I just wanted to leave scene 1 on a good note.
Yeah.
Scene 2. Wednesday and Pugsley are on to Debbie's scam, so Debbie convinces Gomez and Morticia to have them sent away to a summer camp called Camp Chippewa. Back home, Fester and Debbie go on a double date with Morticia and Gomez. By the end of the night, the two are engaged to be married. At camp, Pugsley and Wednesday are surrounded by rich, preppy kids, and they don't fit in with anyone except Joel Glicker. Amanda Buckman becomes a true menace, and they're often sent to the Harmony Hunt, especially after being caught sneaking out.
When she's like trying to get rid of Wednesday and Pugsley. She's just like, yeah, they've been talking about this camp so much, and like they really want to go, and they're just like, that doesn't sound like them. It's horrifying.
Sorry.
Every like good normal thing, I just love how they subvert, and they're just like,
Yeah. If it feels bright, it is not them, and that is.
It's continually funny.
It is.
I really can't get enough of it.
It's the long running joke that doesn't get old.
Yeah.
Because there's always a new, fresh thing that they can be disgusted by. That's normal.
Yeah.
You know, it's it's great.
But this is a concern I have with the plot in this. Like there's two moments here that are just like, we just went right over this. Number one, the fact that Debbie is a known like killer of men that's on the loose, but yet like she's not arrested or investigated or anything. And like if she were to do this again to Fester, like people would be like, it happened again, but I don't know, you know, like it's a very loose idea of like, this is who she is, and like she gets away with it, but we know who she is. But the other one is like, Gomez and Morticia must just be just fucking so much that they're not paying attention to their kids at all. Because literally their kids are like, hey, Debbie's bad. Debbie's issuing signs of being bad. And Debbie's telling them that their dark, sinister goth kids want to go to summer camp. And they believe that. They're like, Debbie's right. They do want to go to summer camp. Even though they're saying they don't want to go to summer camp, they're not paying attention to their kids at all in this part. Like this is on Gomez and Morticia.
Debbie's just so charming. You know, she's got that way about her.
These are your kids, bro.
It is a bit of a. It
might be nice to have them gone for a little bit.
Maybe that's it. Then do we need a nanny at this point?
Yeah.
See?
It is counterintuitive considering the fact that like Debbie really appears and shows up as everything that they should hate.
Yes.
But then they listen to her kind of constantly about this insight to their kids and stuff. I don't know.
Nanny with the puppet, they should have loved that nanny.
Yeah.
They should have been like, oh, it's so dark.
Well, she's feeding them like stuff that they want to hear, obviously, like, you know, a narcissist would.
Okay.
Like try to get people to like them, you know.
But they hired a nanny because there was too much commotion in the house and the older kids were going after the baby. So they hire the nanny, and then the nanny's first job is like, well, let's just send the two kids to summer camp. You've just solved your problem.
Yeah, you just solved your problem.
You should have just sent them to summer camp and then be like, well, we don't need you anymore.
And I guess
Debbie.
we don't need you anymore because now we can just take care of the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you take care of Puber while we go make more pubies.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're going to make a puby salad.
Yeah.
Gross.
As they say.
Ugh.
Pearls in the bush, man. So.
Yeah, dude. The ultimate edgelord is Wednesday Addams. Like 100%. What do we think of Christina Ricci
She's the best.
as Wednesday? It's iconic.
If you were not...
It is an iconic role.
Yeah, I'm convinced that Wednesday Addams, as a kid, turned pretty much every male into like what would soon become the emo MySpace phase of like wanting an emo girl in the MySpace era. I'm convinced of it because like Wednesday Addams is my age, Christina Ricci's my age, and when I watched this I was like, why do I like this girl? Like she's so dark and goth, but I'm so interested in this girl. You know, as a kid, I really was. Man.
You know why all men are so severely like attracted to this idea? All boys were like so attracted to this idea.
Thank you.
Because she's honest. That's about it. So that's it.
She just tells you
telling you exactly what it is. That's just no, this is ridiculous. I don't like that. Great. There it is. That's a great idea.
I'd rather die. I'd rather skin a cat than do what you're talking about. Yeah.
Thanks. We can go do something else now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for telling me now, so we can avoid that conversation afterwards. That's probably be like, well, I just did it because you wanted to go do it, and it's like,
you want to hang out and go to the movies or like go bowling? No.
No.
I don't want to do any of that.
Well, and Wednesday Addams is the type who you're like, hey, where do you want to go to eat? She's going to tell you where she wants to go to eat.
Exactly.
She's not going to be like, I don't know where you want to go.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
That's what I'm
I
saying,
don't really
man.
know. Why don't you pick? She would just be like, yeah, we're going to fucking Outback.
Yeah.
I love
It's
blooming
like,
onions.
Look, I literally like, where can I get fried onions and like mushrooms and other like kind of evil smelly looking things?
I know exactly where to go.
Outback Steakhouse.
Let's go there. We go there every Tuesday.
Yeah, every Tuesday for free or endless boneless wings and margs until we shit.
Definitely not going on Wednesday.
What we do. Not
doing
Wednesday.
that.
Fuck that.
Do you feel like I was actually just watching a couple sitcoms recently where, you know, when they get really, really popular, like we're talking like a Friends or a Seinfeld where all these shows are set for 2 to 3 seasons where they're only on their set, like inside in this set. But as they become more popular and they get more money, they all of a sudden have like, oh, well, we are on the street now. We do a thing on the street now is where we hang out.
Yeah.
And it just seems weird. That's how I feel about this movie. The first one's all kind of just based in the house and on these sets. Seeing them in bright sunlight at a camp is very weird.
It's very weird.
And it adds to just the like, what's going on here? This sucks for them.
It's quite literally it's goth fish out of water. That's what it is.
Yeah.
In dropping them into the brightest, what should be like a bright, fun, kind of happy place. I mean, you know, if you're a kid, sometimes summer camp is great, sometimes it's not.
It was awful for me.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. So I wasn't a mud kid, you know that, and it took a long time for me to enjoy summer camp. That being said, but to drop them into here, I mean, it is their nightmare, right?
Complete.
I mean, and the idea that, so then you also have to think though, it's at least Gomez and Morticia are trying to like appease their kids. If this was true, and they're like, oh, this is freaking terrible that they want to do this. I don't want to shatter their hopes and dreams. We'll let them go. At least they're trying, you know?
Yeah.
I guess if they really want to go, we'll let them go. It's just weird. You're right. It's weird seeing all of them in the bright, broad sunlight. And I don't know.
Pretty awesome though.
Again, like the like just amazing like inserts of like stuff that just kind of goes over your head as a kid when Wednesday and Joel first meet eyes. David Krumholtz definitely his second movie for sure.
I think
from
so,
us.
yeah.
When they meet eyes, you can see Pugsley in the background trying to hang himself.
Sean, I never saw that as a kid, ever. He's literally
it's
putting
so
a noose
quick.
around his neck.
There's one single shot and it never cuts back to it.
The guy who plays
It's
Pugsley.
a family movie.
It's literally about like, wow, watch it with your family.
It's like it was almost like an homage to like that hidden thing in Wizard of Oz. You know, the guy hanging himself back. I don't know. The kid who plays Pugsley though, I think is actually very, very like underrated for how he does this role so well. Because I think anybody else could really oversell it.
Yeah.
And I think the character of Pugsley is so great as this much more reserved and but apparently can do anything.
Yeah, but Wednesday runs the show.
Yeah,
Wednesday runs the show.
Pugsley, the guy who plays him, is literally the epitome of a supporting actor.
Yeah.
Like you got your main, who's Wednesday, and he's just like kind of the side thing that she bounces stuff off of, and he does it so well.
Yeah. Pinky in the brain kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Almost. But yeah, it's great.
Leonardo and Brad Pitt. You know,
There, see,
It's the
thank
same.
you.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Da Vinci and What?
Yeah. No, well, you got to talk about
Shakespeare.
the camp counselors, like Peter McNichol here, just showing his range,
Oh,
man.
dude.
Because when I think of Peter McNichol, I think of Ghostbusters too.
Totally.
Like that's what I see immediately in my head. But for him to like do this type of a role, he plays it so well. In fact, when they first show him, and like him and the lady are there, and he's kind of doing this weird gyration thing on screen. It's like, this camp sucks, dude. I do not want to be there.
It was one of these things like I don't know why it struck me the way it did, but what are the camp counselors' names? It's like it's Gary Granger, and then she's like something Martin Granger. I'm just like, God damn, like, what the hyphenated name?
She had to.
It's just like something about that to me was just like, God damn it, dude.
That was a choice. They knew exactly what they were choosing.
This is Susan hyphen Hicks from Big or whatever. With a hyphen.
With a hyphen.
Yeah, and then obviously we'll talk more about the camp later, but then you get into this part where, Fester is now really on to Debbie, and they go to this dinner, which, by the way, I want to have dinner in a cave.
I know.
It's sick.
How do we do that? I want to do it somewhere.
Well, and I'll say that this movie was nominated for Best Set Decoration.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay, yeah.
And it totally
Completely.
shows. It shines, and like this place looks beautiful, and I love this whole scene, especially with them dancing.
Sean, normally, you know me, we've done like 200 movies together. This is usually a scene where I'm just like,
Now, as soon as he got up and took his jacket off, I'm like, but then she's just acting with her eyes, like just so seamlessly. Like she's just, like, it's a kind of a down shot on her because it's from his perspective, and she's just like facing forward, like, like that, just that sly little eye look. I'm just like, God damn, how are you so goddamn good?
I'd like to propose this. I don't think you should ever be allowed to ever again do an Addams Family movie, because these actors are the Addams Family character. Like Raul Julia is Gomez.
Yes.
Angelica Houston is Morticia, and I don't care who you recast, it will never be as good as this.
Yeah.
There will never be a Gomez and a Morticia that I don't see in my head that are not those two.
Raul Julia, this is what I think of when I think of Raul Julia.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, other than what did I say earlier?
Street Fighter.
Yes. Which this was his like kind of last movie.
This was his last that came out while he was alive.
Right. Okay.
And then Street Fighter was his last movie that came out 2 months after he died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's very sad about Raul, you might know more, is that he had like some sort of terminal illness.
I think it was stomach cancer.
And he just didn't tell anybody about it.
Yeah.
And he just said, nope, I'm gonna act. I'm gonna do what I
crazy.
love.
His energy is so high. Like I do think that, a good recasting of that would be Tim Curry, but like just energy wise, his overall demeanor and energy reminds me of Tim Curry. Of like every time he's on screen, he takes it over, and I love it.
Yeah.
That's what Raul Julia is to me.
If we got to see Tim Curry before Julia,
Sure.
then fine, but we didn't, and so now it's just too hard to try to redo.
There's something about his eyes, and like also I think it was this one where his eye literally popped out of his head, popped out of his socket because he was, I don't know, the medication he was on or something like that. It was either the first one or this one where his eye popped out of his head, and he just caught it and like popped it back in.
I don't like
I
that
wish
at
they would
all,
have gotten
Sean.
that on camera, because that is the Addams Family.
Wow,
in
look
a
at these
nutshell.
special effects.
Oh, we didn't even have to try.
In
my
a
God.
nutshell. Oh my God.
Old war injury, and he
Yeah.
just pops it back in. You're like,
Oh my God.
yeah, but
Quitted.
and even like the adult implications of all the champagne bottles going off at the end of the dance. Like, I mean, that's very. I see what you're doing there.
And speaking of all of this too, like Barry Sonnenfeld is just a gleeful director in my opinion. Like we did Men in Black, obviously, and I don't know, just the way he constructs his movies. It's not nothing really like too flashy, but there is a certain look to it. Especially like even the opening credits do look like the Men in Black kind of thing.
Yeah.
Also Dr. Strangelove, but I don't know. There's something about his aesthetic that I just really, really enjoy, and I think he pulls it off perfectly. I think like you could. Like even with the music, I was like, oh, it's Danny Elfman for sure. This movie could be directed by Tim Burton
Completely.
easily.
Yeah.
That's probably what I thought until I read up on this stuff and seeing it's Barry Sonnenfeld.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Well, yeah. should well, wait. One more thing.
Okay.
They do. Debbie and Fester do go back into the graveyard, and I like that subtle touch of them digging up. Like, that's my mother. That was my mother's ring. She's been dead for years. She holds up the shovel. The actual like physical implication of gold digger. Like
That she is a gold digger.
I just love that. That's such a great implication.
And do you think that they like that about her? Do you think? That
Yes,
they
I
were
think they
charmed by
love
that?
it.
Yeah, they
I
have
think they're
to
like,
be.
wow.
Yeah.
They dug up mom? Awesome.
That's a great move.
She
Wow.
still look hot?
That is an endearing thing. You're right. Did they bury her
She's
in the bathing
she's
suit?
in the same pose as on
yeah. We wanted to remember how we always thought of her.
Naked and slutty.
Naked and oh god.
bare bones, man.
Wow. Nope.
Oh,
I see what you're doing there.
Hey-o.
I'll cheers myself.
Yeah.
So scene 3, the children briefly visit home to attend Fester and Debbie's wedding, which takes place in a graveyard. The newlyweds leave for their Hawaiian honeymoon, where Debbie attempts to kill him. After he survives, she makes him swear he can never talk to his family again. Gomez spirals into depression with news about Fester. All right, so we're back at camp, and I think this is where Wednesday really shines. Like when they try to escape, and they're singing, like the
Kumbaya.
guitar comes out, and she's just like,
Yeah, she's like trying to back away. It's so good.
and then even like when they finally get to her, and she then the cabin does work, and she like.
Dude.
Like when she the facial expression of forcing that smile, to me, this is the movie that Christina Ricci really became like the force we know her as.
I think
like,
in that moment.
Yeah,
because
maybe.
like when she's trying to muster up a smile, her brow furrows, like you can see them just like it's like painful for her.
It was almost like a transformation
Yeah.
part of like a werewolf movie.
Yeah, dude.
But it
So
didn't
good.
fully come to fruition. And then her eyes like do that
Yeah.
and no, it's like and it's 100%. What's her nuts? Totally says what everyone else is thinking. I don't like that. I don't like that.
actually be a good time to do this.
Ooh, here's a prop.
I actually want the murderers, killers, and psycho cards that they have. That
Oh, nice.
like the card game with all the
Yeah.
psychos. I think that would look really cool up on, here on our wall. I think
Good
that'd be a
one.
good prop. Yeah.
That's a really good one.
I want when I was thinking about this, I want the guitar, Gary Granger's guitar. It's a Fender guitar, acoustic with that headstock.
That Strat headstock.
And I think I would get it so I could break it. Because I just never like acoustic guitars that have that Fender
don't
headstock.
either.
It drives me fucking nuts.
Good
and
call.
I think I want to break Gary's
Animal
guitar.
House style?
Animal
Yeah.
House style.
All right,
and then
cool.
hand it back to him. Like,
Well,
sorry.
Sorry.
I want the eagle with the arrow in it.
Oh, the great American bald eagle. Aren't they extinct? They are now. Jarrett Layoff said he wants the boombox that Debbie threw in the tub.
Nice.
Boombox is always a safe call. Like
Yeah.
we like the boomboxes on this show.
Yeah.
I like that.
Dig it.
And then even like when you're there, like I read David Krumholtz, what's his name in the movie? Joel. He's so underrated in this movie too.
is.
When they're shooting the arrows, and he gets the arrow in, and then he just throws it to the ground, and freaking Peter McNally goes, "Good try."
Yes.
Apparently, that was real. Like
It was
he
like-
was actually trying to shoot the arrow, and he didn't. So he just got frustrated and threw
Oh,
it down.
really?
And they were like, "Yep."
And they're like, "Oh, we're keeping that."
He was actually supposed to shoot the arrow, and then I think they were just going to show it like missing the target.
Okay.
But that was
that's
way
great.
better that
It
way.
was so much better. He just got genuinely frustrated with
Good
it.
try.
And they kept it rolling. It was so good.
I wish they would have shown like Wednesday being really good at the bow and arrow.
Right.
I guess we kind of already know that she probably is, but I wish they would have shown her just being like
Bam.
Yeah.
bullseye every
But
time.
with nobody watching.
yeah.
Well, and I guess it's implied in the original show that Wednesday is actually a really exceptional swimmer and good in the water.
Yeah.
That's-
So which helps the implication that she's like, I can't swim. Which allows her Samantha to possibly drown.
Yeah.
just to watch her drown. Oh, I can't swim.
Just drown. She just drowned.
Is it Samantha or Amanda? I think.
Oh, it's Amanda. I'm sorry.
Is it Amanda?
I think
I
you said Samantha.
Yeah.
Just, all you gotta know is Buckman.
Yes.
Buckman.
And I
Yeah.
like that David Krumholtz's parents. One of them is Barry Sonnenfeld.
Really?
Well,
Oh.
the dad is obviously.
He's
but
great.
Yeah, he's really funny in it.
Leave him alone. Definitely his parents.
Yeah.
like this kid's parents. Just like the overbearing mom and the dad who's like probably been through it all before, what he's going through. He's like, just leave him the fuck alone. Let him just come into it himself. Just stop. Oh my God.
They're Woody Allen in two characters.
Oh yeah.
Like 100%.
Oh, you're 100% right. Yeah.
But Wednesday and Joel kind of like, they like each other a little bit, like meet me in the thing. I got a wedding to go to. Do you want to come? Like as a date? No, of course not. I definitely will. Yeah.
Because if you said date, I was going to say no. Yeah. Well, so yeah, Wednesday says my uncle's getting married to our nanny.
Yeah, and Amanda just stands up. Get out of the cabin. I mean, literally kill me. Married to the help.
She's actually great. Like
she's really good.
You make like when you got these kind of villains like that, like the more you hate them, the better like they actually are at their job.
Yes.
Because like, did you know that she was in the first one?
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Dude,
it's like a little Girl Scout.
She was a Girl Scout where she's like, Wednesday's like, are they made out of real Girl Scouts? But which implies that they probably like go to the same school and they like know each other, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Which is also weird then because they're flying on a plane at the end of the movie to go somewhere. It's like, well, don't you just live here? Or maybe the summer camp is on a plane somewhere and they had to ride on a plane to get there.
Yeah.
She even still had to audition for this, even though she had a role in the first one. Yeah.
I just like her a lot in this. She, along with all the other girls in that kind of cliquey, that clique, the summer camp preppy clique, and like. And they even say it in the beginning. What's his name, Gary or whatever, says it's like, and like it's like, what's the point of being like rich and privileged if not for being here and having fun and taking advantage of it? And like they all play it so damn well that it just it would make a lot of sense for kids who might be watching this at the right age of like 13, 14 to see all those kids, those preppy kids, and be like, don't want to be like that.
Yep.
I'm going to be like freaking Wednesday.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be like that because those people seem like the worst people on the planet.
When they're telling the ghost story and she's like, and the killer was inside the camp, and they go, like they're clearly, she's the leader and they have to pretend like they're scared at that point.
But it's great. And they all woke up the next day with their original noses. It genuinely scares them.
Well, so then you go on the honeymoon here.
Well, I like one thing about the wedding too. I just like,
the wedding.
cousin it. When it starts doing the sermon or whatever, like it's just like
incoherent.
Yes, thank you. You can't decipher what the hell's going on there, and especially John Cusack's like, the fuck.
Ditto.
Yeah. But one detail is like the cans on the back of the car, and also the dead body.
Dude, that's dark as fuck.
That's
like,
super dark.
This is really funny. There's a dead body hanging from the back of the car.
Harrison was asleep by this point, thank God. But like,
even
dude,
like the girl in the cake or whatever. It's like, did you?
God.
Oh my God!
Did you forget
so
to
dark.
air this out? It's like, well, to each his own.
Was she in there before you baked this?
Yeah.
Opens it up and there's smoking out of it.
Nobody gets in trouble for that, I guess. Oh well.
No, that's
found her on the streets. No, she doesn't have family.
No, somebody's coming looking. I mean, that she works for an agency, obviously. She's or some sort of pimp.
Well,
so somebody's coming looking for that girl, and it's a good thing Fester's on vacay.
Yeah.
Fester is on vacay in Hawaii. This scene where she tries to kill him in the bathtub is so great. Like, because she plays it off so well. She's walking around the tub. First of all, she says like 1,000 on cassette, 1,000 of the best love songs ever. Like, you can't fit 1,000 songs on a cassette, but she throws it in the tub, and that's a callback to the old Addams Family where he lights up the light bulb. Like, it's just
okay, yeah.
Like, he used to do that in the original show, I think. But I have a question for you. Like, they did bang, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, they had to.
That's like, I wanna punch Debbie, but also I'm like, no, I'm not gonna punch her because she talked about the ultimate sacrifice earlier. She literally gave the ultimate sacrifice. Can you imagine what Fester like smells like, looks like? feels like.
Fester looks like.
I'm just gonna go into detail about it right now. I'm pretty sure it looks kind of like his head and his shoulders.
Oh, gross.
It's just like kind of barely coming out of the sheath.
Gross.
You know what I mean?
It's like
just kind of like
it's like a baby bird in a nest. It's just
hanging out. I don't like any of this.
Kind of like just imagine like trying to.
No, can we?
It only goes in so far.
Well, and like she probably just touched him and it was over. And he's like, that, and she goes, "That's sex," and he's like, "Awesome, sex is great."
What if again?
What if in actuality, underneath this like weird like robe monk trench coat, he's like. It
turns out it's just like 87 layers. He just gets cold.
He just gets really cold. He's got a condition, and he just kind of gets cold. And it's like that's why he's so pale. But like he just takes off that jacket, just looks like a Greek god, and it's like, well,
that would have been an interesting turn of the story where she's like, "Actually, I love you."
Yeah.
No, this is great.
This would have been more fascinating if you ask me. So.
I'm gonna wash all my clothes on your abs. This is fantastic.
Well, speaking of banging, we gotta do porn title, porn parody title. Anybody? This was tough. Did anybody come up with anything?
Never do.
You're like, we're still doing this, huh? Wow, Mike's sticking with this. Okay, people really like this segment.
Adam's step family values, just because of that, whatever that algorithm is.
It's very popular. Very, very popular on the searches.
Adam's step family. What about Adam's Apple family values? Like Adam's Apple or Adam's Slamily values? No. I think Jared had one.
Adam's family vulva.
Vulvas. Valvules. Jared said Gagham's family values. I think there's a lot of. That's a tough one, guys. That's probably the toughest one I've had.
I like step family.
Adam's step family values.
It's good.
And it's Adam's step family values?
Values?
Oh, step bro. Oh, God, no. Step bro, what are you doing? I'm sleeping. Oh, no.
Stuck in the laundry again.
Oh, that's a whole different.
Oh, I'm stuck in mom's grave again.
Oh, you're combining stuck and step?
I think it all goes hand in hand, doesn't it?
Stuck step porn. Yeah.
So...
Tight, dude.
Oh, it is.
Was it? No.
Like a missionary.
You want to move on to scene 4?
Yeah, I guess.
All right, so Debbie and Fester move into a lavish mansion where Gomez and Morticia attempt to visit, but Fester refuses to see him. This causes emotional pain for baby Pubert, who begins to change. The family resolves to get Fester back. Meanwhile, during the end of camp play, Wednesday and Pugsley ruin everything with a Thanksgiving rebellion during Parents' Weekend.
It's a great scene. It's just a great scene.
There's a lot going on here, bro.
Yeah. We can go back a little bit, but like the camp takeover thing is brilliant. I love how she like gets into it first.
Play?
Yeah, she's playing.
Oh, yeah.
She's playing the part really well until it turns. And it's just so funny how they're just like, yeah, these savages. We're gonna have them over for dinner and stuff. It's like brutal, but it's really funny how they're doing this.
It just doesn't make any sense, like their play. It really is a great build on just the absolute like ignorance of privilege, if you will. That it's like, oh yeah, let's just reenact like the Thanksgiving day. It's like you're nowhere near the coast where this was actually taking place. Like Chippewa Indian, like that wasn't a part of it.
Pocahontas was dead by this point in his weird story he made up.
Like and like he just, it is so much about his vision.
My text. You're ruining my text.
My text.
It's very funny to think about that. It's just like, this is like the culmination of his summer.
Yeah.
Not the kids.
Yeah.
Like this
but it is like for Amanda Buckman, like this is like she's been waiting her whole life for the lead role of Sarah Miller.
Oh God. and all her friends in a row on that on the bench too, like all getting their names called to be a part of the Pilgrims.
Yep.
And then, oh my gosh, it makes me think of Wet Hot American Summer
Completely.
of Amy Poehler in that.
Yeah.
Of just being like, it's like, all right, guys, that was absolute freaking trash, and just like it was actually really good.
So, stop talking about
I'm
Wet
so
Hot American
sorry.
Summer.
Get
It's
your
coming.
shit together.
It's
okay?
coming.
Get your shit together, okay?
Couple weeks, okay? It's coming.
Yes, it's coming. I cannot wait.
It's been the culmination of this entire show.
Oh,
Like,
man.
it's probably going to implode after
Yeah.
Wet Hot American Summer.
But that's what I think. He's literally like whipping these kids around in these dance numbers and stuff, and just absolutely shitting all over them. It's pretty brilliant, to be honest, as far as the performance is
I do
concerned.
feel that, I've told you guys a lot that I got very into like Native American literature, and I love the culture so much, and I love learning about it, and it made me
Good
so
for you, man.
frustrated.
Good job.
Well, it made me so frustrated that we were taught this kind of bullshit
Oh,
in
I
school.
know.
Like, this isn't a privilege thing. This is literally what the fucking history book said.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we sat down and we had first Thanksgiving dinner.
It was all cordial.
Shut the fuck up. No, it
We
wasn't.
built a big long table to seat all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for the guy over there.
Yeah.
Whatever. But like, I do think this scene actually kind of sparked something in me that moved further on in my life to where I was like, wait a minute. Like Wednesday's speech that I read there, like that's like one of the greatest, most truthful things ever. And it spurred that further desire to learn more for me. And it was this scene. And like, it's so great. This is probably my favorite scene in the movie. This whole culmination of the play.
It's really good. It apparently took them 2 weeks to film this whole thing. Like, I mean, there's a bunch of shenanigans going on. People on tight ropes or whatever, the zip lines and shit. It's fantastic looking, and like still, like the direction of it is like incredible. I just think it's so simple. There's not like a lot of flashiness going on, but there's like the cuts that you need and the shots that you need. I don't know. There's something about that, and like the director brain in me is just like, oh, this goes easy.
I do really wish, like, so bad that they didn't do the flashback at the end to show baby Pubert go through the air where the Buckmans were on the plane. Because, like, I was like, did they kill them? Like, I want them to imply that they killed them.
Oh, I do too.
Because they were roasting the camp counselors like over a fire.
Oh yeah, no, this is super dark, and you gotta love the funniest thing about that whole scene with them like really taking over the camp is the infrastructure that they put together to make this happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
all
like,
of the inside kids rebelling.
oh my gosh.
The inside kids, like, we're taking over.
All those kids are future engineers, okay, and this just proves it because of what's going on. It
does.
It's just like it's very brutal. It's so funny, and then by the end of it, they're roasting the camp counselors, and it's hilarious.
I just wish they wouldn't have showed Buckmans to where we could just leave it open ended and be like,
Yeah.
they
I know.
killed them. They killed everyone.
It would have been great if it was just the implication of it. It's just imply it.
Well, even like when we get to another scene after this too, but then they cut back to Wednesday and Pugsley and Joel kind of escaping. I think is it this scene that
You mean where they escaped before this happened?
like
When they're ninjas?
at night?
we already did that. Yeah.
Okay, it's later on though when they actually escape, like when Pugsley pulls up with the van.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah. You can.
That's
call it
right.
now.
Like
Yeah.
I love it too because they begin on like an explosion at the camp and then they come down and it's Joel and Wednesday. Like there's just chaos going
Lord
on.
of the Flies, man. It's just going
He's
on.
like, I'm staying. I'm gonna go get the rest. He's like, you're so brave.
You're so brave.
It's like a classic, kind of scene like that in any like action romance movie or
Totally.
something.
It's a classic like Humphrey Bogart.
Yes.
In what's that?
Casablanca.
Casablanca.
Yeah.
And that you're just nope. I gotta go. You're getting on that plane, sort of a moment.
Yeah.
And the fact that again we just might as well just gloss over it. Here's my literal child brain. Pugsley just rolls up in a van.
It's fine.
Whatever.
He's 10.
Whatever. It's like,
Okay, one of the best supporting roles, I'm calling it, that we've ever done.
We're not even going to talk about it. He's just there. He's just like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, because like, how did they escape if they didn't show Pugsley?
Where'd
just-
you get the van?
Exactly. That's
Oh,
what
I killed the other camp counselor and slit his throat and pulled him out of the van.
So
And I
that
got
makes
this.
sense.
Yeah,
I
like,
did. I killed that guy before the production even started.
Oh yeah, no, I killed him, took the keys, and I parked the van where I knew I was going to need it.
There was a scene before this that was cut out where someone found them and freaked out, like in a slasher film.
Yes, they found their headquarters where their maps drawn out, and they're like, "You're going to do this, you're going to build this, and I need you at 4:05 to come over here on the zip line."
Synchronized watches.
They had a very sweet, nice kiss between these guys. Apparently, it was both their first kisses
Jesus.
Really?
ever. And
Good on David Krumholtz.
Yeah, man. Christina Ricci.
Christina
She
Ricci?
she was not. She didn't really like kissing him because he had peach fuzz. Apparently, and they tickled her lip or whatever. But it's just like, nah, that's fucking cute.
man.
You guys are fucking cute as hell. God damn it.
Adorable.
When you get to the mansion, like before this scene, when the Gomez go visit the mansion, after they went and saw Nathan Lane, the police officer,
Yeah.
by the way.
Okay, sorry.
No, what do you got?
One of the lines, and they own Gomez. No, a Buick.
He's like, huh? But those are the lines. Like that's what I
Yes.
appreciated more about this movie than I ever have. Is all those kind of lines. Like when they're at the mansion and Morticia's like, from a woman to a woman. You know, like I've clearly put him under a sexual spell, which I respect. But we want to see our family. You know, like there's just those little lines. They just fly over them.
Yeah, it's just like when, as Jarrett said, the pastels.
Pastels.
It's
Yes,
fucking- it's so
exactly.
good.
It's so good. It's like, why do you look like you're dressed like you're going to a funeral? Wait. It's just like that's like somebody just died. That's what I think it is. Like it's why somebody just died. Just wait. It's like, or there's a lot of those that just continue to fly over your head, like you said, Mike. And once you get to the point of like them in the house and like Fester with the wig and all that stuff. Holy cow.
He looks great.
Then
I think he looks good.
I think we find out, like, yeah, he's probably not ripped underneath there. He probably looks like a different, like the same thing in that, like, beige suit. It's just a different looking version. That's his body.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah.
another beige
It's a
suit.
dream to think he's chiseled. He's not.
You're
If he
right.
is, it's like literally like a Johnny Bravo kind of thing. There's like no definition. He's not like, even if he's like kind of fat, there's no rolls. It's just like it's almost like just like a block.
Right.
His body's just kind of a straight block.
The garment doesn't touch any of the rest of him because
Right.
his shoulders are so.
There you
Got
go,
it.
yeah.
Yes.
I met Randy from Trailer Park Boys. He came to Cedar Rapids and did a cheeseburger picnic show at Tailgaters.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And Randy's the guy with the big gut.
Yeah.
And when I got my photo with him, like Randy had zero loose skin. Like he's one of those guys that just is giant gut, but like no fat.
The
You know,
man's-
like I don't understand what's going
Yeah,
on here. I
he
think
said-
that's how Fester is.
He's
dream
taut.
body.
Yes,
He's taut.
The dream body.
The dream body.
Yeah, nothing's moving around here. It's just I
Yeah.
drank a lot of beer and ate some cheeseburgers.
Yep.
I just imagine Mike going out. It's like,
I definitely said something.
Oh wow.
it's firm.
I did. I said, Randy, you're looking good. He's like, I know. It's like I shoved about 17 cheeseburgers in there before I got here.
Heck yeah, dude.
I don't know if you guys wanted to talk about that, about the Harmony Hut, about when Joel first goes in there and sees the Michael Jackson poster.
Okay, so here we go. Like they had an original Michael Jackson tune that was supposed to go with this movie. And he did it and recorded it, and he was all gonna do it, but I guess the production was just like, no, we're not. We don't need it. We're not gonna use it. And for that fact, they had that Michael Jackson poster in the Harmony Hut, and around this time, they didn't. Well, it didn't come out yet that it was that he might have
the
done
allegations,
the
of,
allegations,
children, and
allegedly.
yes,
I don't know. But it's funny that David Krumholtz screams at the poster as a
he's
little
just-
kid.
It's like foreshadowing.
Yeah,
because he's just like the movie's just saying, "Oh, I don't like Michael Jackson songs," right?
Yeah.
Like
I don't know.
I don't know what they're saying.
I don't know how you can not like Michael Jackson songs.
I mean, like, imagine having to listen to like the Free Willy song like for 24 hours straight. You
I
know?
guess. Yeah.
Like that would be a little tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
I don't
right.
want to hear my favorite song for 24 hours, let alone that song.
What all they have to watch inside there? There's like
Annie.
Annie, like Sound of Music.
Yep.
I think what else? There's a few other things in there, but like those are movies I wouldn't want to watch.
Absolutely, it would be actual torture. for
Yeah.
me.
What movie would be your torture? Like, if you had to watch a movie for 24 hours, what's the worst torture you could possibly have?
it'd be
Super
like-
Mario Brothers.
According to our ratings, correct.
I guess
Super
I
Mario
would-
Brothers is the movie we would not want to watch for 24 hours
St.
straight.
Elmo's Fire. I guess. No, it would be like Annie or like those kinds of movies where
Yeah.
I just have no interest.
It'd be like,
in,
it'd be a
show
musical
tunes.
for me.
Yeah.
It'd be like Grease or something like that. I'd be like,
Yeah, I
just,
do like
I'm-
Grease, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Any Hallmark Christmas movie, Christmas in July.
I'm into that, man.
No.
I could watch that for 24 hours.
Well, no, it's
Well, you're in luck.
agree to disagree because Christmas in July is upon us, Michael.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gross. They all look the same. Never mind. We'll go.
Well, let's do the final scene then. So for their 3-week anniversary, Debbie hides a massive bomb in a gift box, leaving it with Fester. She returns home later to watch the explosion, but it's foiled again when an intact Fester emerges intact from the rubble. I said intact twice. Debbie then pulls a gun on Fester and prepares to shoot him, but Fester's saved by the Thing. I said the Thing. I think it's just Thing.
Nice.
The Addams family has a brief, happy reunion before they're interrupted and captured by Debbie, who straps the family into electric chairs. They're saved by baby Pubert. Months later, the family celebrates Pubert's first birthday, and Wednesday throws a prank on Joel.
Well,
They made it 3 weeks. How many times have they done it?
how many times?
Is
well,
she just banking on the one time?
Oh yeah,
She's like, oh, Fester, what you need to know is we only do it once a year, but you need to,
yeah.
Okay.
Other
Oh,
than
man.
that, whatever you want. Like if you want a kiss, then you have to pay me $20.
right?
You know.
You have to give me like one of those bonds. Like that's if
Yeah.
you want to.
That is a
That's
fuck.
like an HJ.
Yeah.
Then there's like what's for second base. You know.
Yeah.
Like
A bouillon.
yeah.
You need some
like
bouillon
like
for
a good piece of bouillon. And then a third base. That's where it starts getting a little bit interesting.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
yachts, actual
Yeah.
I need
boats.
physical
Another car.
property.
And then home runs. Oof. I don't know what could constitute a home run in this scenario, guys.
You have to kill yourself after because this is what I want. That's a home
A
run.
death attempt because that's what Fester appreciates, actually.
Yeah.
Because he thinks that that's flirting. Is her trying to kill him? That's flirting.
I love when he's like trying to guess what the present is. And he's like, is it a bomb? What?
She's so
good.
good, dude. Like when I was younger, it was just about like kind of the sex appeal of her, but she's just incredible. I don't know if anyone else could have done this
No.
role as perfect as she
I
did.
think it was who's Spider-Man's mom in the new ones?
Marissa Tomei.
Yeah, I think she.
Oh, yeah.
My
she
Cousin
auditioned
Vinny.
for it and
Maybe.
didn't get it. But yeah, I mean, she's fucking fantastic in My Cousin Vinny. But yeah, I don't know, man.
By the time
Joan
you-
Cusack, this is her role.
By the time you get to the point where she is like fed up after the bomb goes off and stuff, and she's got them all in the chairs, like at that point, it's like, man, the more sadistic you get, the sexier you get.
Yeah.
This is wowzers. Okay.
The woman in white.
Oh my goodness.
The lower cut it is.
The lower the cut.
Yeah.
Not to jump ahead on that by any means, I guess, but this was always the point where. This is the point when I was a kid. I was like, oh man, I feel bad because like he was like they were gonna have dinner and like he made that thing even though it looked fucking disgusting. But he's like, oh, I made this thing for it, and he brings it out of the house. He's just like, and then the thing comes up in the car. They're in the how?
Yeah.
But how?
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. So apparently Thing grabs the wheel, right? So it's in park. Then Thing pulls it into drive because this is the age of like where the gearbox is on the
Goes-
steering wheel.
Yeah.
So it goes from park to drive. Then he jumps down strictly, he points the car in the direction he wants to go, gives it gas, jumps back up, cruise control, so he can drive. And then gets rid of cruise control, comes down and brakes or gases, back up cruise control.
Imagine being an amputee, like doing that with just like one arm or just
Yeah.
like one hand. And like according to Slim Shady, fucking amputees fucking suck, dude.
Apparently. Yeah.
Nobody's safe.
It's a good thing. I guess it's just a good thing that car wasn't a stick. Because there's no way he was doing a clutch.
It's his car. That's his car. Like, that is Thing's car, right?
Oh, it is?
Or
was
did
that,
he steal Debbie's car?
I thought that was like Fester's car, Fester and Debbie's car.
How did Thing get there in the first place?
That's another. So
did he fly? Did he get on a plane? It's like, hey, what's up?
I feel like,
like he's got a seat.
He just hopped on someo's carry-on.
yeah.
He's just so if Thing
Fell off the jetway
If
again.
Thing takes an airplane, does Thing put his hand where the seat is, or does Thing put his hand on the armrest? That's
Well,
right.
he needs his seatbelt on.
Oh,
They're gonna come.
He's
check
gonna
that.
get pulled over.
Yeah.
He's gonna get pulled over for not wearing a seatbelt.
I was
about
thinking
these
that
things.
Fester was doing the brake and the gas. Like that would have been.
Oh, okay.
Like if they showed like him, doing that. But I guess it's like
like
a little less funny.
But then they had to keep showing Thing like pushing down on it. So
No.
no,
Yeah.
points off for AJ at this scene. I think that's what we're getting at.
so you're gonna be back, right? Oh yeah, definitely. She picks up 2 bags.
And then that's where she goes to the bar with Tony
Yeah,
Shalhoub.
yeah,
and-
Tony Shalhoub's there, and like this is another scene that just kind of like lived in infamy for me in my brain for some odd reason. And it's just Joan Cusack just saying,
macho man.
and just like, yep, sing my praises. You all want to pay attention to me. This is great.
She's found a bar full of sailors.
And she's like, it's like
in a 30s film.
yeah, I know. Just a bar full of semen that she even says it's like, oh, I have to go meet my husband. It's like he's a lucky man. And then she says, it's our anniversary. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
So it's like it's fine. I don't know, but I just thought Tony Shalhoub,
Yeah.
like Tony Shalhoub monk.
Yeah.
He's a
And he
sailor.
would have been like Wings at this point too, right?
Is that right?
Barry Sonnenfeld, man. Must be friends with him.
Yeah.
Men
I
in
don't know.
Black.
I like that she's got it down to like a science here. She's like checking her watch, and it just goes off. And again, Fester emerging from that house is again just incredibly creepy to me.
Every time she tries to kill him, it's like so funny that like and creepy that he survives it.
It's so weird, dude. I don't know. But yeah. Well, so I guess what's left then? Now they
They're kind of like final confrontation in the house. One of the lines I love is, "Sorry, Debbie, no Mercedes this year. We have to set an example. Set this."
It's like, what does she say when she brings out that freaking Desert Eagle? That thing is
Hand cannon.
It is a hand. Did you see that the size of that thing? It was bigger than him. Brings that thing as freeze jerk or something like that. It's like it brings it out of her purse. I just think it's the funniest thing.
I'm sorry I wasn't paying attention there. I was actually trying to look something up, and this is skipping ahead, and we can step back. But I'm sorry,
Okay.
it got in my brain, and I had to look it up.
Okay.
The absolute worst song ever written in the history of the world is at the end of this movie. Is the tag team doing whoop? There it is, but just changing the words to Addams Family.
Addams Family.
It's so bad that it is not available on streaming.
Well, yeah.
They literally were like, no, we're going to remove that.
And you had a Michael Jackson song.
Who said this was a good idea? Who's like, we just finished a really great movie, one of those rare sequels where it's like actually is good, if not slightly better than the original. We did it. Let's fucking ruin it with the worst song ever written.
I was
the
watching
worst
it.
song ever written, remade into be something worse.
I was watching right before I came over here. I was watching it again with my wife right before I drove over here, and I went upstairs to like change and get ready to leave, and it was over, and that song was playing, and I'm like, oh, I was gonna go put dishes away. I have to make time to go stop this song and get an exit out of this app before I do anything else,
Yes.
because
Right.
I can't hear it anymore.
I can't let this continue on.
Yeah.
Can we also think about this then? Let's just think if this song was supposed to be a Michael Jackson song, right? Let's just have this conversation really fast. Mike, unfortunately, we went a different route for the music. We're not going to use the song anymore. We don't need it anymore. Oh, okay. Well, okay.
What the
Okay, I
children?
guess. And then he gets in his car. He's like, I guess they must have found somebody really, really, really good.
Better than me.
Better than me. And then you're Michael Jackson. You're like, well, I'll watch.
watching
And
the
then you're
movie.
like, oh my God.
Oh my God, I'm a failure.
This is what they did. This is what they did instead of me.
Tag team probably
No.
paid Addams Family to have this song in their movie.
Dude, they needed some money back. They probably thought something was going to go wrong, and they just said, and Michael Jackson obviously just went off the deep end after getting replaced by this shit. That's what drove
This
him.
is what did it.
This is what triggered all the trauma and did everything.
it did.
Made him name his kid Blanket. This is what he
Everything.
did.
Oh my God,
This is
this
it.
movie.
Oh yeah. They replaced that his whatever song he wrote with Addams Family. Ooh.
They say whoomp 34 times. I just searched the lyrics.
Good.
It's 34 times.
34 times.
34
Thank
times.
God.
Like pure dog shit. In fact, I will, when I give my rating, I will do a subtraction of what I would have given
I
it.
mean, you have to.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
You're saying take off 34 points for.
It is a nice wrap up though too before this song of like, you know, Fester does get to meet dementia or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that.
Okay,
Like,
this is funny.
this is great.
Yes.
Yeah, and then like Wednesday pulling the prank on Joel. Like this is it's a nice way to end the movie.
Yeah.
I think.
The two of the funny thoughts that I had that like I kind of saw were it's she says her name's Dementia. It means to be like out of your mind or like, you know, whatever. And he says my name's Fester. It means to rot. And then beforehand Debbie literally says, "Love you." No woman in her right mind would love you. And then he meets dementia.
Yep.
And I love that so much.
That's so good.
Hey, listen, when you're least looking for it, that's when it comes around.
That's
okay,
right.
guys?
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly, man. Put your head down, work on you.
Work on you. She'll
do
come
you.
around.
Yeah.
Become that Fester king, bro. Okay?
You do you, King.
Cold plunges, fucking do it, fucking.
IVs every
IV.
weekend.
AG1 in the morning, right
AG1.
first thing when you wake up.
Get your greens. Do
And remember,
like
you're going to go
carnivore
sauna
diets.
to cold tub, sauna to cold tub. You
Yeah.
got to
Sauna
do
to
that
cold tub.
temperature difference.
You
You know?
got to keep changing that back and forth before you work out and then after you work out, okay? Then once before bed, nothing other than meat and just eggs and
Salt and
protein.
water, and that is it.
It's electrolytes, bro. Electrolytes.
Fester's listening to Joe Rogan.
Fester gets up and makes his bed first thing.
First
you
thing
know?
in the
Yeah,
morning.
first thing you do is if you can't make your own bed, like how are you going to take care of the rest of your day?
How
you
you
know?
gonna do it? You imbecile.
Fester puts down that book and puts in AirPods, and the first thing that goes into his ears is clean your room. Clean it.
Yes, Peterson.
Oh, that's fucking. Well, real quick, do you want to do punchable face at all? Anybody got a punchable face? On
Yeah,
this
let's
one?
do it.
If we were on a train to go punch a face,
Yeah.
I'm on board.
I'm gonna punch Sam McMurray,
Cool.
Buckman,
Yep, Buckman dad.
just because he is a great post-punched face, especially in Raising Arizona.
Cool.
So I want to see him like that again.
You want to see him again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Remind you of the good movie of Raising Arizona.
Yeah.
Remind you of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about your little guy? Probation. Punchable face. I think it's the lady camp counselor.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Even more than Gary somehow.
Well,
She's pretty awful.
Jared did say Gary Granger is his
Okay.
specifically during the Harmony Hut. I this is a weird one for me. I'm not punching this character because of the character itself. I'm punching Pugsley strictly because of that fucking haircut.
Oh,
Like it's really hard for me to look at that haircut, dude.
It's just the spikes.
It's very hard for me to look
What
at
if
that.
they were frosted?
That'd be worse.
Yeah.
If he were just shaved head, he'd be my most favorite character of all time. But that haircut just. Hopefully my punch will make him like fall over or something like that, and then we'll be fine. But
yeah.
nothing to do with Pugsley
No.
himself, just the haircut.
Okay.
Just the hair. You want to punch the hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right
Yep.
across the hair.
Might cut you. There's so much gel in there.
I know, right?
Well, boys, you got anything else on Addams Family Values?
No.
I don't think so.
We've dissected it with a modern eye. Time to give it a modern day rating. We're going to start with Sean on this one. What'd you think about this, buddy?
I think this movie's incredibly fun. I definitely can see myself returning to this around Halloween time, maybe even Thanksgiving time. I think that all the performances are outstanding. I think that this is like the Addams Family cast. You can't get any better than this. I mean, as far as like what's her name playing Wednesday nowadays, I guess that's pretty good. But still, Christina Ricci is just like where it's at.
You would argue that she does not exist without Christina Ricci.
Oh, 100%.
Kind of thing.
She ran so that she could run a little faster.
Yes.
At this point.
1,000%. I think Barry Sonnenfeld's kind of an underrated director, to be honest. I think that his movies are just like so watchable, so much fun. The music's great. Just a good time. I'm going to give this a 7.6.
7.6 for Sean or AJ? What about you?
Ooh, wait, you're making me go before you?
Okay, I'll go.
Oh, wow.
I'll go.
You go.
I'm very curious now because before I watched this, I would have told you that my rating would have been whatever. It would have been lower than the original because the original to me so much better. Sure. But now I don't know. Now I have not seen the original in a long time, and this one really surprised me at how much I liked rewatching it. Sean nailed it on the head. There are no better people that could have played all these roles. Like it's just an absolute perfect casting all around from top to bottom. It's fun. It takes on a whole new light as an adult, as what I thought about it was a kid. It's just a really great movie, and now it's a summer movie.
Yeah,
it's a Thanksgiving movie. It's a Halloween movie. Like you could literally watch this at any point of the year and find something to grab onto. So I'm a 7.9 on this one.
Nice. All right,
AJ, what about you, buddy?
Okay. All right. I think I know where this stands. Yeah, I do think that this is a very fun watch. This is the comedy aspect of this now as an adult is it's way funnier to me as an adult than it actually was ever as a kid, but it's kind of a fun for all ages movie, to a certain degree. Casting is unbelievable. I do think that I don't know. There are parts that are still dark. It's hard for me to watch this in the dead of summer, but it is a good summer camp movie.
Yeah.
Some people even said that this should be like a Thanksgiving movie, and it was actually released more along the lines for like a Thanksgiving release rather than a Halloween release.
Yeah, November, I think.
Yeah, it's like mid-November, so they were definitely gearing up towards like the Thanksgiving season. So yeah, no, I think it's a very funny movie. I think this is maybe what I would say is kind of the definition almost of like underrated in kind of what it's doing and how it can do it. Because it's a bit of an identity crisis for a movie. It is kind of scary. It's supposed to be funny. The comedy seems very almost Zucker Brothers at point, but then it kind of has its own version of that. I think it's a great movie. I do think it's fun. Something I would watch honestly right around Halloween and into Thanksgiving. So I'm looking at this and I'm going to give this a 6.88.
6.88 for AJ. That bumps us up almost 2 full points from our nostalgic rating to a 7.46.
So what would have been if the song didn't exist for you?
Oh, I would have gone probably like 8.3.
Okay. Wow.
8.4. Maybe.
Wow.
I really love this movie, but I mean, I immediately stopped in my tracks. You know how like we're talking about Snack Shack and how it stays with you and it lives with you? This movie might have continued to live with me, but the song made me go, no.
If your brain
cut
was
ties.
like an eraser board, it would have just been like, oh, this is a really fun movie, and then just like completely erased.
Yeah, that's exactly what it did.
It's like a family. It's like an Addams Family joke. It literally just killed the movie for you. Damn it!
So
guillotined it.
It did. So 7.46 is going to fly this all into its brand new solo spot at 76 of any movie we've done. That is right below Big Trouble in Little China. Right above The Fifth Element is how we feel about this movie.
Above the fifth.
That's how we feel about it. Well, lucky for you, we're going to be doing a re-ranking episode here. So we're going to try to look through some of these, maybe make a few adjustments. But guys, we're so glad you're here with us. It means a lot. Thanks to our Patreon members for being there. You're the whole reason that we're able to do this and for picking this movie. It was a great episode. Tune in next week. We got a live show coming to you from Chicago, Illinois. We're doing Rookie of the Year, followed by an incredible documentary that maybe you haven't seen, but you should immediately go out and watch it. It's called American Movie. And if you're new to the podcast, go back this time last year, Waterworld. That is a very fun,
that's a
very fun, hot
Ulysses
summer.
cut. Let's go,
We
boys.
should have released a Ulysses cut of the podcast.
Guys, thank you so much for listening. We really do appreciate you being here. If you're listening to this episode right now on the day that it was released and you're in Chicago, then you make sure you come on down to the Lincoln Lodge tonight, hang out with us during our live show. Otherwise, we really do appreciate you giving us that 5-star review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that good jazz. Leave us a review, write us a review, listen to us, hang out with us on social media, Confused Breakfast on social media. And by all means, check us out on YouTube. We love hanging out on YouTube, in person, live, in the studio. Check it out on YouTube.
ConfusedBreakfast.com. You can go to that website and see the merch that we have. You can get shirts, koozies, stickers, buttons, whatever the hell is on there. Just get our stuff on your body. Go to the same damn website as well that I am currently on. You can see the ratings of the movies that we have done. You can see AJ's ratings. You can see my ratings. You can see Mike's ratings as well as the show's ratings overall. Okay, goodbye. I love you. Fuck this.
And we are produced by the
this.
Upload Media Group in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Learn more at uploadmediagroup.com. And we're on the Cloud10.fm iHeart Podcast Network. Learn more at Cloud10.fm. That's it for
Addams
us.
Family. Thanks, Brian.
Brian on the controls.
Right.